Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Investing and Trading Live. My name is Josh Lilquist. Today is July the 7th, Friday, the end of the week here, end of the short trading week 2023. And today we're going to do a quick market update. We have the non-farm employment change numbers that came out, and markets gapped down again. So kind of just looking at the theme of the last few weeks here, we've been looking at the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY. Yesterday, Thursday the 6th, I mean, this market has been respecting this supply zone, but it's touched it a couple times here, that 442, 450 area on the Spider ETF SPY, currently at 439.30. So basically what happened yesterday is markets gapped down pretty good, continued to go down in the morning, and then actually closed the day up from the open, which was actually still down for the day because it did gap lower. So Friday here, markets did open up here. It's about 8:40 here, so 10 minutes after the open here, Central Time. And the markets opened up, gapped lower, opened up roughly around 438.63. And showed some strength right away. So as we know, markets just opened. So we're going to see some volatility here at the beginning of the morning, and we'll continue to monitor the S&P 500. The NASDAQ, I mean, all three, S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ, all down on the day as far as the open here, 10 minutes after the open. Looking at GLD, this gap's up. You know, it's kind of probably going to do that if the markets gap down, but yesterday it had to actually gap down as well. Gaps up, opening at 178.38. Let's look at the spot price real quick here. The spot price of gold is at 1925.10. So this market really is still in a downtrend, especially on the daily. But so showing some strength here today a little bit on Friday the 7th here in July. Silver, the same thing, really in a downtrend as well. Last couple of days showing some bigger moves, but still down. It opens up today at 22.71 and currently at 22.92, so up on the day for the spot price of silver. Let's look at the U.S. dollar. We've talked about the U.S. dollar periodically, and this one is down on the day, roughly at 102.73. So with the dollar down, let's see if we get some strength here in the stock market here today, even though it gapped down. Last 2 days on the dollar has been down. Currently has started somewhat of an uptrend, coming off of that demand zone that we've talked about really for the last year or so. The $100 area, 191 cent to 100 is that demand zone we've been bouncing off of twice now. So let's see if this continues to go up. I don't see any major supply zones in the dollar anytime soon, especially on a daily chart. So this, we might have one at the 110 area, but that's got a ways to go. If that happens, we will probably see the stock market continue to decline, just based on the inverse correlation there. But we'll continue to monitor that. Let's peek at one thing we haven't really looked at much is some of the grains in the futures market. One of the big movers that we've been seeing here is the corn futures. Corn roughly at $495.50 is the ZC. Depending on which broker you use, but it's a ZC and the one that I use for corn. Now this one here usually does have a little more volatility. It's not quite as liquid, but this one has really shown a big drop here from 668 or 670 roughly back on June 21st. So we've dropped over 200 here in the last few weeks here. So is that because of a drought? Who knows? Is it supply and demand? I don't see any major supply and demand zones coming off of, so rings. Bitcoin Let's actually, let's look at oil first. Oil roughly at 111.67. So oil here is that's not right. We're looking at the wrong contract. That's totally the wrong contract. I don't have the right contract up here. Oh, here we go. 71.78 is the current price of crude oil. Still in that downtrend. It's been kind of range bound the past 2 months or so now. So if we get out of this little range, it's been choppy back and forth, bouncing really off of that $67 area, which I think that's that dollar that, oh my goodness, don't quote me if I'm wrong here, but Biden says, or somebody says that they're going to be buying oil to keep it propped above a certain price. So I'll have to do some research on that. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been a mover here the last, few weeks here because of that ETF they've been talking about. Really shooting up from 24,756 all the way up to 31,432. Currently at 30,308 here today on Friday. So it is in that supply zone that we have talked about. It's not a real strong one here, so it is in a uptrend. We'll continue to monitor that. I want to look at another one here that I've actually been mining helium tokens, and which is HNT. So this one still is a dog. Is at about $1.35. So really hasn't done a whole lot of anything last 2 months here. So helium not doing much. Samo, that was one of those meme tokens here, basically at zero. We won't even talk about Shiba Inu. Solana still is also range bound at about $19, $19.34 roughly on the cryptos. So let's go back to some stocks here. Let's peek at. I want to look real quick at some of the movers for the day. Get into a different trading account here so I can see the movers on the day. So let's see here. On the stock market, let's peek at NVIDIA. Let's see. NVIDIA currently up about 0.8% on the day at 424.56. So this one really continuing to show strength. It's been consolidating the past few weeks here. So if we can get out of this consolidation, we'll see what happens here with NVIDIA. How about Apple? Apple continues to chug along, but is down today. 0.23% at about 191.35. Just continuing to show all-time high after all-time high these past few weeks here. So it's definitely a mover. For some reason here we go. There we go. Finally got into my other account. So looking at some of the movers of the day. The big movers, you got Gorilla Technology Group up 74%. I don't know any of these companies. Prestige Wealth, not sure what this one is. This one's up 53%. And it looks like that's an IPO. Interesting. Castlebox Bioscience is up 41%. And Newsy up 24%. So top sectors, energy, 0.68% up, and the lowest one is communications down 0.12. Let's see if you have any major news here. Not really. So let's go back to the charts here. Looking at Meta, down a little bit on the day, $1.40, roughly at 290.57, opened up at 292.18 on the day here. Airbnb up 1.5%, 1.44% on the day. So that one showing some strength here. PayPal up 1.38%. Not too shabby for PayPal, after still really in a major downtrend on the month here. We're several, actually on the year. 3M up a little bit on the day, 1% on the day. So good job 3M here, showing last 2 days some big drops. Actually, the last 2 days, 3M has dropped about 5% on the last 2 days, then up a little bit today. So maybe we'll see if they gain some strength here. Oh, let's go to AMC. AMC up 2 cents on the day. Whoop-de-doo. We talked about the premium it was given a few weeks back. So, if you're in any positions, make sure to protect any positions that you have. Or, I guess if you did some cash secured puts on that, nothing really to do on that. Probably showing some gains there. Target is still consolidating in that same area, about 131.65 area. Hasn't done a whole lot since that big drop back from May of 26 when has been consolidating since then. Still is down about 50% from the highs here. And so this could be a potential buying opportunity at one point. We've been talking about the demand zone down by the $100 area, 100 and 110 area. So we'll continue to monitor that. Yesterday we talked about Bed Bath & Beyond. This BBBYQ is kind of what they've been trying to pump up a little bit. So I did not do the research on that, but Teddy Holdings apparently has bought it or is buying it, and we'll see what happens on that with Bed Bath & Beyond. So going back to some news, obviously we had the non-farm employment change this morning. It was at 209,000. The forecast was 224, so down, and it was actually, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the lowest employment change since late 2020. As far as the lowest increase since late 2020. So that could be sparking some of this drop here today. Unemployment rate 3.6%, same as forecasted, so which is lower than what it was previously. So we'll see what happens there. Looking at the week coming up here, so let's peek at next week here with some of the news and see what we have coming up as far as any potential movers here coming up this week. So Monday, kind of a snooze fest, not much going on. Tuesday, we have New Zealand has their rate statement on Tuesday at 10 p.m. our time here, Central Time. They're forecasted to stay the same. So if you're in any New Zealand dollar trades, make sure to monitor that at 10 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday the 11th. They're forecasted to keep the rates the same. That will definitely be moving some markets there. The Bank of Canada on Wednesday has a rate statement. Their overnight rate is looking to increase 0.25%. So if you're in any Canadian dollar trades, maybe even oil, since Canada is a huge oil producer. U.S. on Thursday the 13th, we have unemployment claims here. Projected to have 250,000. Previous was 248. We got core PPI as well. That will continue to move the market. And on Friday, rounding out the week, we have preliminary, the consumer sentiment. So got a few movers for next week. Let's make sure we are continuing to monitor your positions. If you have any positions on, Take profits when they are given to you. Protect your losses, making sure you have your small losses, add your odds and probabilities in your favor. And we'll continue to do a market update, probably daily here coming up. If you like the show, make sure to smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Spotify, make sure to do so we can continue to put content out here for you. And hit the bell so that way when we do a live session like we are here today, you get the update and you can listen to it live. And you can also type in any questions that you do have, and we'll cover that on a next segment, or if we catch them live, we will cover that on a live segment or live session. So we'll continue to do this every week here. As always, we'll have a Thursday session. We'll probably have 4 episodes come out, so make sure to check that out this coming Thursday. As always, every time, retire young, my friends.